Hello and welcome along to the channel. Now it's getting towards Christmas and some of you might be looking for presents to give to the car person in your life, and I thought I would come along with an example of something that I think might be worthwhile looking at for Christmas, and it's not going to break the bank and it's going to get used, which is the key thing. Don't buy things that aren't going to get used, novelty items, things like that. Get something useful, they'll use it time and time again, and hopefully they'll keep thinking, I was given that as a gift. So let me show you what I was thinking. And here it is. This is what I was thinking that might be useful. Now the reason I've got this is because I needed to buy one for myself and I thought it would be worthwhile. We open it together, have a look, and I'll let you know whether it's a good stocking filler or not. Might be a bit more than a stocking filler, but there you go. So it's a Joltekon. No, I've never heard of them either. Jump starter with air compressor. Like a battery bank with a compressor for blowing your car tyres up, and also jump starter. It's also got quite a powerful light on it as well. I thought this might be quite a nice combination to carry around and have just in case of an emergency, because at the minute with cars sitting outside in the cold, the batteries are starting to get a bit weak. Occasionally you might get a non-starter, especially if you've got project cars like mine that are sat around most of the time. That's where this comes in handy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up, see what we've got inside it, and we'll see what we think. It comes in a nice little pouch, which is good because my idea for this is that I'm going to carry it around in the boot of the car just in case. So actually it all being contained in a little case like that. Carry handle would have been nice, that would have been extra useful, but yeah. Oh, hang on, I think it has got a carry handle. Is that a handle? Sort of. It's, oh yeah, it's a carry handle of such. Actually that'll be useful to hold it in the side of the car. But what have we got inside? We have got the main bank itself, which is quite big and chunky. Just one thing before I dive in, I've just had it on charge. Took about an hour to charge up to full, so I think that's a good thing to do first charge. If I plug it into my charger, you'll see it does have a battery meter on it. Let me just do that. You'll see it kind of boots up, and you can see we've got a nice big clear screen on this actually, and we're showing full charge. I wanted to make sure that all of my testing and everything was done when it had a full charge. So there we go. What you've got is you've got a set of 5 buttons on it. One for the torch, main power, units, plus and minus. I think it's going to be fairly straightforward. On the end here we have our connectors. There's our in 5 volts, that's USB-C charger. And then we've got an out, which is a 5 volt 2.4 amps according to this, for charging phones, accessories. So it does act as a power bank as well. Obviously it's not going to be the hugest power bank, but it should be pretty useful. Actually, what is the rating on this? The rating on this is 10,000 milliamp hours. I'll put some of the details below so you can have a look. I'll translate them, actually make them into useful figures that you can use. But there we go. So if I just try the obvious one is the torch function, which it's a decent enough torch. It's not the brightest, but it'll come in handy. It's also got the flashing emergency and also blinks out SOS as well. If I turn the power on, is it a long press? That's turned it off. There we go. Right, and then you use the plus and minus, and you can see what you do is you set the pressure. So I've got it on PSI, you set the target pressure, and then if I remember rightly, there we go. So that then will start to increase the pressure up to the match. So the good thing is you can set the pressure you want, and you can leave it blowing the tyre up, which is really handy because I'm often doing other things, topping up screen wash, things like that. MU, obviously, that lets you change the different type for inflating different things, and now it looks like what it does is it sets a slightly different top pressure, and that's all that's doing. And if you hold it, it changes the units for the pressure. There's bar and back around to PSI, and it's as simple as that. Long press and we'll turn it back off again, and that's that part of the function. Fairly straightforward. Then the other part is the jump pack side of things. Now you can see here there's a little rubber cover here, and these fit in like this. They only go in one way round, so they go in like that, and you can see the boost pack has turned itself on, but we don't have any lights because I don't have a car battery or anything connected to it. So I'm going to take it to a battery and I'm going to show you what we do next. At the moment my car batteries are doing okay. I've managed to keep them topped up, but I'm still going to show you the general principle of what we do. As usual, we connect them up to the battery. Now this is something to bear in mind, the leads aren't hugely long on this thing, but let me now plug it in, and you can see it's brought the battery light on, and I've also got a little green light here which shows that everything is correct and it's ready to go. And what you would now do is you would go ahead and start the car. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that, and let's see what the boost pack says. And you saw that that started it quite successfully. No major issues, and actually we haven't had any alarms or anything like that. Now like I say, this battery is in decent condition, so I wouldn't really be expecting much else than that at the moment. But something that it does have, which I think I showed you earlier, is it does have this boost button. Now what the boost button does is it forces this battery to provide power into your main battery, and that's good if it's not quite managing to start the car, or if you need to force it. You can see you can just press it like that. It did a little click and it's now activated power through to the battery. That's a really handy function. I like that idea, being able to override the smart circuitry inside the boost pack and just force power into whatever battery it is that you're trying to start. So you can see that function works pretty well, and it works as expected. And then one final thing I'm going to try out. Just trying to work out. Alright, okay. So you spin that to attach the inflator like that. So that's good, you don't have to spin the thing round all the time. And I want 38, so let's turn it on. Press plus. Move the display up to 38. Like that. And also, it's one of these clamp fittings as well, rather than a screw fitting, which I do like. Let's attach it, and there we get a reading. Can you see that? Don't know if you can see it with it being so bright out here today. So that's showing 25 because I lowered the pressure a little bit. So if I now press the inflate button, the power button, Okay, the compressor's just cut out. Now you see the pressure has actually dropped. So I think what happens is the 38 target when the compressor's on is skewed a little bit, and that took it, let's see, about 3 minutes. So what I'm going to suggest is that you put the pressure up a little bit higher than what you actually need, because I want 38, and that should even out. So there's a little bit of a downside, that it's not quite accurate in that respect. You can see it's still got full battery, so I'm not too worried about it using too much of its internal battery to blow the tyres up. So it's not the fastest inflator, but it does the job. Of course, immediately after I did that video, I thought I would put it to 39 and run it, and you can see this time it actually says it's up to 39. So not quite sure what was going on there. What I'll do is I'll do that and then put it back on again and see what pressure it says. So it's reading 36 this time. So I'm not quite sure what the accuracy of the gauge is. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to get my other pressure gauge and let's compare. Of course, how accurate any of these are, I'm not really sure. I do tend to just work somewhere nearby, but that was saying 36. If I now put this one on, let's just have a little look. And this one is actually reading more like 38, I would say, on the gauge. So that would tend to suggest the display or the calibration on this one might not be great. And that's a bit disappointing. So that's something to bear in mind with the tyre inflator. You're going to get near, but not quite accurate. So there you have it. That's the Joltekon jump starter air compressor and battery bank as well. And I've got to say, apart from the tyre pressure reading, which was a little bit disappointing, I'm not quite sure what was going on there. I don't actually know if that is influenced by it being very cold here today. It's only about 3 or 4 degrees, whether that makes a difference or not. But that's something to be wary of. Other than that, it looks like this is going to do the job that I wanted really well. I wanted a portable battery bank. I do like a portable air compressor that is battery powered. I don't like having to plug it into the car cigarette lighter, that kind of thing. It's chargeable via USB-C, which is everywhere now. We've got them all over the house, so that's easy enough. And the boost starting, I'm going to have to try that a bit more, but so far that seems to be working well as well. I have jumped another couple of cars just to see, and one of them was a hard starter. Unfortunately, it was off camera. That worked really well. It helped it start quite successfully without draining the battery, so that looks pretty promising as well. So there you go, you can get the Joltekon from Amazon. I'll put the links in the description below, and also the pricing and details and things like that, and hopefully that will fit for the car person for Christmas maybe. So there we go. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Please remember to give me a thumbs up, a like on this video if you found it useful, or if you want to make a comment if you've got one of these and you want to tell me what it's like longer term. That would be really useful as well, so that other people can benefit from what you've learned about using this kind of jump pack. Or if you've got suggestions for one that you think would be good, especially to compare, put a comment down the bottom, and I'll see you in the next video.